Guys, D Portia here. I wanted to get into another weight loss video. This one will be covering no challenges since March, but I've pretty much been doing my treadmill workouts and lifting weights, and I left off in March at 174.4. So from then in April, my weight kind of fluctuated. I started adding more carbohydrates into my diet, not necessarily a keto diet, but just kind of moderation and watching what I eat. A lot of vegetables, a lot of water, a lot of fruits, a lot of protein shakes. And my weight kind of just went up and down from there. Entering into May, starting out, my weight was 175.2. So again, doing the same thing, kind of eating more carbs, drinking more water, doing my weightlifting and treadmill workout. I started to see a decrease when I basically learned my macros and calorie intake, and I started to go into like a deficit of not much, but just enough to lose. So I think I was at like 1,800 calories, and I went down from 175.2. Slowly I started going down to 174.8 on May 16th. Today is May 24th, and I am at 171.4. But I'm gonna rewind because I have incorporated a weight loss medicine that I'm going to talk about. It is called Saxenda. So we're going to rewind. Let's rewind back to May 16th, me leaving off at 174.8. That is the exact day that I started taking the Saxenda medication.
Okay, so here I am showing how you adjust the dosage on the pen.
Like this,
and
so
it is at 0.6, which is the beginning dosage.
Which is subcutaneously
I am applying the needle.
My body,
so you just apply it like such,
medication.
and you twist it on, take the cap off. I usually use my stomach because I feel like you can't feel it as much. I'll pinch a little bit of fat and squeeze it right in there. It doesn't hurt, you guys. The needle is super small, so that is how you do it.
Okay, so do this medicine work? Absolutely. Let me tell you how it works. So basically, Saxenda, it looks like insulin. I know you guys have seen probably the insulin pens where you're tracking your glucose and then you're giving yourself insulin depending on how much your insulin levels, your glucose levels are. It works the same way. I mean, you're increasing your dose over a period of time. However, this is not insulin. It is a GLP agonist, and it basically works by it works in a complicated way to explain, but basically what it does is it decreases your hunger effect and makes you feel fuller over a long period of time. So you're supposed to start this medication at 0.6 milligrams. So I'm going to show you on here, and it shows you just crank it up to the 0.6 and then you inject it as I showed you in the video, and you increase over time. So did I start at 0.6? I absolutely did not, only because when I injected myself, I didn't think the medicine went in all the way, so I injected myself again with 0.6, and that took me to about 1.2. So, or maybe about 0.8 to 1, that range, because some of the medicine did not get inside of me. So I started out, let's just say 1.2. And since I started that day and I wasn't quite sure where I was, I just kept going with that 1.2. Day 2, I felt so nauseated and sick that I almost couldn't eat anything at all. I drank a lot of water, but when it came time for me to eat, I think my husband had made me breakfast that morning. He made me some sausage and eggs, and oh, I feel nauseated now just thinking about it, but I could not eat it. I was super nauseated. So then by day 3, I took it down to 0.6. And then that day was smooth sailing. So then the next day I took it back up to 0. I went in the middle because it's 0.6, and then it increases by 0.6 milligrams each dosage that you go up. But I end up putting it like in the middle because I know that would be 0.8. No, was it 0. It wasn't quite at 1.2. Trying to think. But I put it in the midpoint of 0.6 and 1.2. And that was really good. It almost didn't feel like I took anything. Like I wasn't eating as much, but I was still hungry. So then the next day I took it up to, I think 1.6, 1.2. No, I went to 1.8, I think. I just kept increasing it. Right now, I'm giving myself 1.8. So after the first week, I started on May 16th at 174.8. And I went down in 1 week. That following Monday, I went down to 172. So that is a 2.8 pound loss in just 1 week. And I want to be completely open and honest and transparent about this. The nausea was a really big side effect. I started getting a little bit of headaches and fatigue for a while. But then I just started learning to my body. Like it's not going to give me that hunger effect. So I have to remember to eat. I have to basically force myself to eat. So then I started doing that, and it helped a lot. And now at this point of the 1.8, I'm on week 2, and it's going really good. Like I'm able to eat. I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks in between. And then I'm tracking my calorie intake. My calorie intake is probably between 1,200 and 1,600. So it really helps though, because we went out to dinner on Saturday, and usually when I go out to eat, I'm eating my food, I'm tasting your food, and all of that adds up when you know, counting calories and all this type of things that I wouldn't normally eat every day, like a French fry or something like that with my kids' plate. I would usually pick that up. But we went out to eat Saturday, and believe it or not, my greedy behind was giving away my food. And that is just not like me, because I love food. But I couldn't finish it. I think I ordered, what did I order? I ordered meatloaf, mash, and broccolini, and a side of collard greens. I could not finish those collard greens. And then for some reason it tasted really sweet to me, so then I just kind of handed it over to the kids, and they tore it up. But my husband kept like, here babe, try it, because he had a fish or something like that. I tried a little piece, and he just kept trying to give me more because he's used to me eating all his food. Which is so sad. But I was like, babe, I'm good. So how did I get Saxenda? So I went to a weight management doctor for a visit. I basically just, and this was in April, I basically wanted to see what they would tell me to do, and make sure it's not something that I'm already doing, because I just got to a place of frustration. You know, I wasn't seeing the weight loss that I wanted, and I wanted to see what was going on. So I went to a weight loss doctor, and when I went in, I got signed in and everything like that. They went over basically an intermittent keto diet, which I'm very familiar with. I've done all of that. And they gave me a B12 injection, injection of, I want to say it was about 1 milligram, which didn't do much for me because I'm already taking supplements of B12 every single day. And then there was a weight loss medicine that they wanted to put me on called Phentermine. Now, I've taken Phentermine before. It did help me lose weight for a little while, but it did increase my heart rate way too much. So I can definitely not take that. I think I was up to like the 130s with Phentermine, and it was just a no-no for me. So I told him, I said, I can absolutely not take Phentermine. So he prescribed me another medication that actually this group that I'm in on Facebook had told me about. So I asked about the medicine, and he was like, okay, I'll prescribe that for you if that'll work for you better. And he did, and I told them to send it over to like CVS, Walgreens, something like that. They did, and honey, that medicine was like $3,000 or $4,000. So I told them absolutely cancel it. I know they got so tired of me at the doctor's office because I went back and I was like, I can't afford this. We need something else. So he had actually mentioned Saxenda during my visit, the doctor that I visited with. And I was hesitant. I didn't want to do it because the whole point of me trying to lose this weight is that I have been diagnosed with pre-diabetes. And I don't want to be diabetic. I don't want to be injecting myself. And here I am doing it. But I guess in my mind, it's not insulin, so it's different. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then finally, I gave in and, I said I would do it. So then he ended up sending it to my pharmacy because I have a commercial insurance, which is with Kaiser. And he sent it over. It had to go through an authorization process, which basically means that there is a nurse or whoever looking at my medical documentation and making sure that it is medically necessary for me to have this medication, which I have an increased BMI and I've been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, so it definitely is. So it got approved. And basically he put in the order for a 30-day supply. So that came with a total of 4 pens. Let's see, because I'm trying to separate it. I don't want to use. Now, if you have commercial insurance or if you do not, there is a coupon that you can get directly from the manufacturer, Saxenda. If you go online, they have a coupon there that you can use. Particularly if you have Kaiser commercial insurance, they do not take the coupon at all. So what one of the pharmacy technicians told me to do is call the manufacturer, explain to them that Kaiser doesn't take the coupon, and ask if they would basically allow me to send everything in and just get a reimbursement. And they were like, oh yeah, of course. So they gave me all of the information. But what's really funny is none of this information is available on the website. So you have to call in order to get the information, the P.O. box and all of those things to mail in and what exactly they need in order to reimburse you. But I believe the reimbursement is up to $180 or $200, something like that. So if you have commercial insurance and they don't take the coupon, that's another option for you so that you can be able to afford this medication, because without insurance, it's really expensive. I don't want to say how much it is because I know they told me how much it is without the insurance, and I was like, I have insurance, so if I'm paying every month, I'm gonna need them to help pay for this. So they did, and it's really awesome because essentially I end up getting this with no out-of-pocket costs with the reimbursement. So, and it works really well. Now, will I stay on it for a long period of time? I have no idea. As of right now, it is working for me. If I'm able to get down to my goal weight, I may stop taking it and just maintain. I may go a little further down just to calculate me gaining that weight back, which most of the time it does happen when you stop something like this. So yeah, that's where I am in my weight loss. Again, today I am at 171.4. My goal is maybe about 165, maybe a little bit less, just so I can have room to gain that weight back. So that is where I am right now. Hopefully for the month of June, I will make another video, and hopefully by July, which is my B-Day month, I'll be by my goal weight. And I'm thinking the month of July, we're gonna start another challenge. So be prepared, and thanks for watching.